Hello and welcome to PDX Garden Home. And here today I am looking at getting ready to harvest the Chinese broccoli. So I'm excited today because it's harvest day and I'm going to be going around and harvesting veggies similar to what I did in the prior week. It's perfect weather for it. It's a little bit cloudy overhead, and that's actually perfect for harvesting. It's not raining on me, but the sun's not beating down on the vegetables as I harvest them. And so 2 weeks ago, I was able to harvest and then take in for donation, and weighed in at 7.5 pounds. And last week we weighed in at a little over 10 pounds. And so we'll see what we have this week. Besides the Chinese broccoli, we also have another common Chinese vegetable called Choy Sum. We also have bok choy, a little bit of bok choy, not much. We're kind of to the end of what we've had on that. Of course, always lots of kale. So kale, may have a few beets. We have lettuces, and I think that might be it. Maybe some herbs might be in the mix as well. So I'm going to be going around and taking care of that. Yeah, I'll see you guys all later. What? There it goes. There it goes. Well, hello. I wanted to show you in the greenhouse today that I've got my melon plants in here, and they have sprouted, and I'm growing them in these pots, and I'll grow them all season in these pots because it's usually hard to get enough heat here in Portland to really grow melons well, for me anyway. I've seen other people seem to be able to do it, but for me, yeah, in the greenhouse works well, and I trellis them up and then kind of support the melons in the little nets as they get bigger later. So I'll show you as we go on that, but yeah, just wanted to share that they have in fact sprouted here and doing well. You know, greenhouse management is a challenge for me. I haven't quite figured out the exact right formula or way to do it because the temperatures vary so widely. Like this morning here, it's only 56 degrees in here right now. But then if I'm not careful, when the sun comes out, it can be 100 degrees in here. So what I've been doing is the optimal for what I'm going to be growing in here, melons and peppers and eggplants, the optimal temperatures I would like to stay in the 75 to 85 degree range. If it gets, I definitely do not want it to get above 90, because when you get the really high temperatures, it causes the flowers to drop. You know, these plants will typically survive fine in that really high heat, but they just won't produce anything, is what I've found in the past. And so managing the heat, managing the cold, I mean, it's just keeping the doors and windows and everything shut. There's not too much more I can do about that because it's an unheated greenhouse, so I'm not trying to heat it up in that way. But when it gets really hot in here, managing the heat, I open the windows, I draw the shades, we've got kind of a shade cloth that comes over, and that helps. But one of the tricks that I found looking in other people's YouTube videos is watering the floor. So we've got a red brick floor here. So I've been doing that, and it was counterintuitive to me because what I was hearing from that is that the moisture or the humidity that it creates when that water is evaporating and the sun's coming in, that humidity, raising the humidity in here, actually helps cool the overall temperature. And that was counterintuitive to me because in my life we don't have a lot of humidity here in Portland, Oregon. It's we've got kind of coolish maritime weather. The places that I go for fun where there's lots of humidity, whether it's the deep south of Louisiana here in the United States, or over the Caribbean side of Mexico, like the Cancun area, or even places in Southeast Asia that I've been that have been really, really, truly humid. I mean, these were also to me, felt like incredibly hot places compared to where I live here in Portland, Oregon. So I don't associate humidity with bringing the temperature down. I didn't think of it that way, but I'm here to report that it worked. I mean, as I water the floor, so that's what I'm doing, is to keep the temperature down on the really warm days where there's a ton of sun. I draw the shades, I turn on the fans, I open all the windows, and I water the floor several times a day to try to keep the humidity up. And I've been able to keep it not exceeding 90 degrees on the hottest days of the most sunshine that we've had around here in the last week or so. So I'll continue doing that as my program to try to keep this temperature. So that's the challenge of greenhouse growing in the summer here, is managing that temperature well. Okay. See you guys.